One thing we really have to come to terms with in our human condition, we can never look into the entities that created the problem for solutions. Um, Sooner we recognize this, the better off you are, and speedy lessons learned. And life's journey is all about is alignment with our karmic lessons, with karmic entanglements. And this is why we hear these words, life is a journey. Of course it is, but it is a karmic journey. It is all about alignment with karmic lessons. This is why we have to journey through, so that we are in alignment with these lessons in the 3D Earth School. When we recognize these things, it becomes so much easier for us to gain our self-worth and release ourselves from needing to people please, needing to ignore our own healing journey. The higher self, the God, the creator, it was very clever. We always have a somewhat soft landing, regardless of the very stressful lessons, because we need these things behind our back so that we can improve. The reason that we aren't speaking about positivity is already is a clean energy. When it comes to these painful experiences, hard experiences, the shadow parts of ourselves, these lessons are a bitter pill to swallow. So then we need to focus more to our shadow work, because the shadow is very slimy, it's not strong, it's not straight, it's not definition is not there, because they are shadow work. We never know where they're going to sneak up, the shadow parts of ourselves. We know we make these excuses like hurt people, life is a journey, and yin and yang and all these things, but nevertheless the lessons are there. Our shadow self, this is where we have to find a clear definition into our shadow issues so that we can heal, we can understand, and we can release. This is the life's journey in life school. This is how we empower ourselves, because one of the things that humans are programmed to do from the beginning is the people pleasing, because we want to be likable. We don't want to come across as the ones who create problems. We don't want to shake things up, because then the shadow cannot exist when things are chaotic. They thrive in the mystery and the hidden uh, depth, so that is not visible to our eyes. We don't hear things directly. It is all internal. We learn to suppress them. But if we continue to do that, we can have a lot of problems, because remember, the thoughts are things, and things become physical, physical breakdown. So this is how we manifest these problems, and people are struggling with poor health, because we never brought forward these hidden parts of ourselves, because it's so much easier to look at things from external, instead of looking into trauma body or ancestral traumas, and all the things that hinder our progress, but we learn to suppress them. Because one thing that we notice about human beings, so they are always courageous despite all the programming, despite all the poisoning, despite inaccurate information, despite gaslighting, despite humiliation rituals. We are so hopeful and courageous, and we want to make sure that we are subservient, and we do things without causing a lot of drama in this external world. But unfortunately, one of these hard pill to swallow moment is that we can never get solutions from the ones who created them. Like the parasites in our body, it needs to have a perfect harmony at all times. They might help to clean up all the toxicity, but yet if they are a little bit of off balance, then they are become a nuisanceable, and they do not know where to draw the line. They'll destroy you and attack you because they are never impressed. They are never practical. They are never um, creative. They are just consuming. This is what parasitic existence is all about. So then black sheep already knew that external world is really there for us to protect ourselves and learn all the things that we need to heal about ourselves by using these systems to create some level of comfort. But it's not a place for you to exist permanently, thrive, because it is a karmic journey. You are in alignment with karmic lessons. This is why all this chaos is happening. Perfect example, when we are going through a crisis, housing crisis here. We look into these entities for solutions, but yeah, they are speaking about this for years and years and years. Doesn't seem to improve as much. Maybe a little bit breadcrumbs, but at the same time, look about rent control. We have these extremely high rents in for the people to usually they are not landowners or anything, but they continue to live, manage to support themselves with a little bit of dignity. But then these entities go and say, well, we are going to increase the rent. This is like affecting a lot of people, and common sense observation. When you do that, there are already systems in place for a practical a fair hike every year is there. But then these people do a little bit of work and take you to court, all the tenants, and they'll be like, well, we need some more because we put some structural changes or improvement. So then these judgment authorities, they be like, yeah, sure, we don't mind, you can increase as much as you want, or unrealistic expectations. But the people don't have the income coming in as much, yet they are continuing to go through these proceedings. They are all grouped with the same system, and they are not some people fall a victim. They are fall through the cracks because they don't have enough savings, because the deficit is how these systems thrive in every level. When we have these circumstances, they are all working together. They are deficit systems. So then you can only be balanced in a very basic existence if you don't keep eye on these karmic issues. They are going to become a nuisanceable, and they are going to be the downfall of humanity, because we weren't paying attention, because we are seeking externally to resolve our problems, which is never going to happen. Maybe we see it on a little bit of improvement, but it's never a substantial improvement, because these people are created in a deficit system. They thrive in these deficit systems, and they will never resolve your issues. So then it is our personal responsibility to keep eye on these things, so then it doesn't get out of hand. Just like our own body, mind and spirit, pH balance, balanced diet, like I always say, these things need to be observed and understood so that we can learn lessons and have a soft landing outcome. When it comes to our medical, it's the same thing. You are is there, it is perfect for emergency circumstances, but it is not a place for you to go there permanently, because the resolutions don't happen there. Your self-awareness, our self judgment, our self empowerment is the one that is going to maintain our health. Perfect example, you are sick with some sort of autoimmune problems. You need to go see a specialist every 6 months, for example. You go, now you are in an extremely ill and sick position, so you need to have a level of support system. Perhaps it's more than your family now, because it's a way of life. When you're extremely sick, you have a level of professionals that is there, a team of professionals that is there to support your life, so that because you are no longer self-sustainable, healthy mind, body, spirit individual, so then team of professionals has to step in. Now when we go into healthcare, for example, if you go into a specialist now, you need to be transported there, so that's going to cost you a couple $100, if not more. Now you need to have a family member there with you, so then it's take your time away from your normal things, so because you have to go get this extra help. But when you get there, they will ask you things like, what can I do for you? Now, they are not superhumans. They are specialists, but they're not superhumans. They are, for them, you are a customer. For them, you are a number. You literally have to take a number or appointments to be there. So then you're hoping to resolve something there. You come home with some more problems, more medication, uh, and then you lost a couple of $100 from your savings, and your families have to be there with you to support you. This is how parasitic systems work, and you don't feel any improvement. We go through this all the time, year after year after year, but we are not paying any attention. These are a little bit of examples what you can see, observation. The family court system is the same thing. You work really hard, you save up a few things, now you have to go to a external factor to resolve your divide your properties, resolve your issues, while they're taking half of everything that you own, because of your ego self, because of your inability to resolve conflict or resolve any issues, because your pride is bigger than elephant, your ego is bigger than, and you share uh, children or properties. You cannot come to a resolution with your own understanding, with a little bit of nurturing, a little bit of understanding, because you rely on third-party solutions. That's gonna take a half of all of you have. This is a sad examples of how the system works. It's a deficit system, and you cannot thrive in deficit system. You just have to open your eyes and empower yourselves into everyday common sense issues, and make a judgment call, and learn to prioritize empowering your mind, body, and spirit. This is how you thrive, instead of constantly relying on other people to resolve your issues. You shift the focus, and this is the life's journey, this is the karmic journey, this is how you resolve them. Because if we learn lessons, we learn to minimize our problems. If we learn to have our tolerance to a nuisanceable existence, we will improve. It's not impossible, because if your customer, if your essential workforce, if your you have all the power within yourself. It's just a little factor that we have to recognize our own power, and level of participation from you, and then you can thrive in your human circumstances. This is how you empower yourself. And these are little housekeeping tips. It's not all about spirituality, it's the common sense, how we empower ourselves, because the black sheeps have done these judgment calls from very early on. They gain a personality, they gain a little bit of courage, they learn to empower themselves by creating boundaries, and sort of go internal when everything fails. It's not like misery loves company. It's just because they have a little bit of hidden courage that the creator has given them, or is blessing in the sky or curse. I don't know the difference, but sometimes it's better to not know anything at all. But if you have awareness, there is so much information, and you can go internal and empower yourself. And all these nights and silent treatments, and all the fights, and all the nights that you spend not eating your meal because somebody said something snooty and uncalled for. So you learn to empower yourself through these little minor incidents in your family circumstances. uh, these are the moments that really count. These are the karmic lessons and the highlights of these pressure points. You keep that in mind, and you bring that into the real world and adulthood. Learn to resolve your challenges, and force the focus about something more substantial, and have permanent resolutions and outcome. This is how you minimize problems. This is how we identify them, and this is how you release them, whatever the outcome may be, because there is a level of faith has to factor in. uh, when you do everything reasonably correct, reasonably appropriate for the circumstances, then life is really a journey, and hopefully the easier in with time, and all the hard lessons are behind us, and we can be awakened to some magical experiences, because the heaven and earth is what we are really going for. But maybe we are going to end up in something more balanced, and something more appropriate for human mind, body, and spirit vessel to thrive. This is the outcome, maybe, because we are hoping for heaven on earth. Remember, everything that's happened to us, everything that we are looking for healing, is done by someone else to us, because we haven't mastered ourselves. We haven't made a judgment call. We haven't learned to master ourselves, our emotional, spiritual self. So then hurt people. So we perpetuate. But the perfect way for us to behave is that we master our own self, mind, body, and spirit, and we become superior to our own self, and we become um, our own policing system, so that we are in check with our behaviors and the kind of energetic output that we are putting uh, external, because it have major impact on other people, how we behave. It is the karmic obligations that we don't want to be entrapped in, because we want to release our karma instead of creating more. So kind of energy that we are associating with, that we are creating for ourselves, we're creating for others, it's all have an energetic blueprint. What we are playing with is what we're going to get back. It is a common sense. So if you're going to cause enormous level of suffering for others, this is the kind of stuff that we are going to get back, and then we have to spend eternity correcting these things. But we don't have to be a victim. We can be empowered because we have the wisdom, we have the common sense, we have the knowledge, we can see, we can hear, we can make a judgment call, and we can become the master of our own self, our ego self, and our shadow self. And this is how we overcome problems, eliminate problems, because we are leaving the deficit behind, and we are becoming somewhat neutral and going towards something more substantial.